Welcome, 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 everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. And of course, I am your host, DBoss, and I do want to thank the people who've been doing their 15 minutes or more or laughing. It's helping them release all that bad energy, that endorphins in your body, helps you keep your abs toned, but don't stop going to the gym. It's free and it's for all ages. So you guys can just laugh for, if you get 30 minutes, you're really doing good. And don't say you didn't have anybody that you can laugh with. You could just turn on something funny that everybody can watch. You could just do all the above, laugh with some friends. And the next thing you know, you turn around, geez, I did it for an hour. Yes, it's going to hurt a little bit when you go past 15 minutes, but that's okay and it's free and it's good for your soul. So I'm going to show you something here from a project that's going on. It's the first smart city in Limbe, Cameroon, and it's going to be done there. This on 168 acre, and there's a lot of vegetation is going to be kept there. So people, if they want to go there, buy something there, or also have a lot of, or if they just want to invest in the project, they're getting good money on their return. They're getting like 40% if you invest. And then also if you want to buy something at a fractional cost, they're starting from, the villages are starting for $59.99 for a fractional cost. So you can share. Those are 4 bedrooms, 4 bath villas. So you can stay there. And it's also, Limbe is one of the tourist attractions with the beaches and all that. So you got a lot of stuff to do there. So we have a special guest that we're having here. So once I show the Limbe, Cameroon in Rich Resort City, we'll be right back with them. Thank you, everybody. That's in Rich Resort City. And if you guys are interested, the things are going cheap. So, and in the US dollar, so you can bring your whole family and relax down there. So you can just let me know. You can just inbox me. I'll just tell DBoss if you want to know any more further information, you can let me know. But today we've got a legendary group here. that's coming on. And they're going to tell us about all their journey and their hiccups and things that they wish they would have did earlier, that they know that they wish they would have did back then. So we're going to get right into it with the Dub Chronicles.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys. Hi. Wow. Well, there's three of you guys. Well, it's actually the Dub Chronicles trio, but most people know you guys as the Dub Chronicles.
That's right.
So,
That's right. We're a trio of brothers.
okay, you're three brothers. You're okay. You're actually related. Okay,
Yes,
you're sure? Just sure.
we kind of look alike.
Okay, yeah. Well, you do. Okay, so can you tell everybody here what's your background, your cultural background, and where you come from?
We come from, well, first of all, we're Canadian. We're all born and raised in Canada, Ontario, Canada, Toronto, Mississauga. But our background, um, my family comes from Goa, which is a Portuguese colony in India. But my parents grew up and were born and raised just like we were born in Canada. My parents were born in Nairobi, Kenya. So we have roots.
Oh,
Yeah, so we have roots in Africa and Kenya as well as Goa in India.
okay.
And we're Canadian.
All right. Well, I'm Canadian too, but my parents come from Barbados and they're all over the place.
Yeah.
That's all right. So, can you tell everybody like who you guys like? How did you come up with the Dub Chronicles? The name. Somebody can talk.
Well,
Great.
originally, actually, the name the
So you
it originates from the Bible, and that's a part of the
He's breaking up.
over a
Mm-hmm.
decade ago. Sorry, I don't know
Okay.
if I'm cutting in and out or not.
Yeah, you are. You
Yes.
are. Just say that again.
But
Start from.
we used to
Yeah.
be in a cover band over a decade ago, and we made a bit of a transition from being just a cover band to to being to being our own artists, to creating our own music and having our own sound. And with that transition came the name The Chronicles. And what we are heavily inspired by is the 1970s and 1980s old roots reggae sound of reggae, and we're reinventing that sound in a modern era,
Okay.
still with an old twist. So we're chronicling what was done before and what's to come.
Okay. All right. So who have you guys work with or open for?
We've done work with we've opened for Ake Becca, Midnight, Von Benjamin. That's one of our biggest influences and inspirations. So in 2015 and or sorry 2016 and 17, we had
Yeah,
the great opportunity of opening for him. We've worked with other artists such as Kumar Faya from Jamaica. We've done a lot of work with local artists here, and some of the foundation artists as well.
yeah.
We've done some recent works with Otis Gale, with Vernon Maytone,
Oh
with the
yeah, he was on here too.
yeah
Yeah,
with the late Carol Brown,
yeah.
who really helped us along our journey. Rest in peace, Carol. We miss you. Um, who else, Jonathan? There's a
We've also recently worked with. We just did a show recently with Yardcore
Mhm.
earlier this summer. We played a show in April with Ibamar
Okay.
from Jamaica as well. Um, yeah, we worked with everybody locally, and worked with some up and coming stars as well. Naomi Cohen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys do it's instrumental reggae you do, right? Or
Yeah,
do
so
you
the
sing?
group, the three of us, we play instrumental dub reggae, but we're also
Okay.
like a backing band. So we can artists will come to town and they'll give us their set list of songs that they want to
Okay.
perform,
Yeah.
and we'll perform them.
Yeah.
But naturally, as the three of us, we're an instrumental roots dub reggae band, but we can, back any artist when they come to town.
So you can sing.
No,
No, no.
no, we can play our instruments,
That's
but we
it.
cannot sing,
The
unfortunately.
way that
Raymond said no.
Rymen.
the way that I like to say it is that when Jackie Matu moved from Jamaica to Toronto in the late '70s, he brought the Studio One sound with him, and with that came the artists that he made the recordings for. All of the Studio One famous recordings that you hear, Jackie Matu is responsible for making the rhythms for most of them. He
Okay.
came up with the chord progressions, the keyboard lines, the organ lines, the drum and the bass, and he made those studio sessions for a lot of the Studio One artists
Okay.
at that time, and then he brought that here to Toronto in the late '70s, and so we're trying to just continue on with, because you don't really get that too much nowadays. The rhythm is very important. The rhythm is very important, and it's also kind of forgotten in a way.
All right. So you only do reggae, or do you guys branching out to like any Afro beats, reggaeton, soca, anything, or you just sticking with that?
Roots reggae with hints of jazz.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So if you guys have the opportunity to do like a collaboration or backups for anybody, which three artists would you want to do something with? And y'all can answer three if you want separately.
Why don't you go ahead, Ryan? Ryman?
Ryman.
I think he's on mute right now.
Yeah, he's on mute.
Okay, well, I'll start.
He's coming off. He's coming
Uh,
off. Ryman, go.
Come on, Ryman.
This is real life matters, so you know.
you'll see D Boss.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I didn't hear anything you just
We
said the
like
last
to
few
we like to
seconds.
bug each other a little bit, so you'll probably see
Okay.
that throughout the interview that we really are brothers, and we do like
Okay.
If I
to
was
pick on each
if
other
I
a little bit.
If I was to partially answer for Ryman, I would say that we've already had a dream come true because we had the opportunity to open for Aki Becca Von Benjamin from Midnight twice in 2016 and
Twice.
2017. And what
Okay.
people don't really know yet is that we also have an unreleased song with him as well.
Okay. Okay. Well, he don't he's there, but you got to go three that you don't want because
Yeah,
people watch, and you never know, and they reach out.
yeah.
Yes, Ryman.
Yes, sorry. No, you were asking. Sorry, the question was, what's been the biggest dream
What's
so
the
far?
what's three people that you would like to work with and do a
Oh,
collaboration?
okay.
You with
That's a
us?
hard question, actually. Um,
It's a hard one.
that is a hard one. Uh,
Anybody, any genre, because you know everybody's crossing over, right?
you know what? I'd probably stick it. I'd probably keep it with our genre. I'd like to play with Damian Marley. Somebody I've always really liked his music, his style.
Okay.
Um, we actually all went to the Marley show here in Toronto a couple weeks ago. It was an amazing show. Shout out to them. Um, a lot of new up and coming artists. We've already played with Naomi Cohen, but every time we get a chance to, we really like to. So the next time we have an opportunity to play with her, we'll probably do it again. Uh, a great artist like Yardcore again. As much as we just played with him a couple months ago, somebody I've been following a lot more since we played with him. So I'd love to do another show with him. Um, and just what, each show that we do with another artist or just with the three of us, it's a unique it's a unique way where we can express our creativity. So it's each show's different, each vibe is different. The three of us are always kind of constant, but each show brings something different that I always look forward to.
All right. All right,
Um,
Craig.
yeah. So for myself, as
He's got it
John,
all thought out.
as Jonathan and Ryan mentioned, so we do like to stick to the 70s, 80s roots sound foundation artists. So for myself, it would be an honor to collaborate with somebody like a Don Carlos, somebody like a Johnny Clark, Johnny Osborne, who comes to Toronto and has roots here quite
Wow.
a bit.
Horace
Um,
Andy.
Horace Andy, yeah. So for me personally, because these are the artists that really got me into the music, and so for me to be able to play the music is one thing, but then to be able to get the opportunity to share the stage with them, because they're a big part of the reason why I'm so influenced, and they're a big part of the reason why the Dub Chronicles are who we are, because of artists like them and the music that they had put out back all that time ago.
All right. JR.
Yeah, I think it's hard to answer this question because for me, like the dream come true artists have already transitioned, like artists
Oh my gosh. Well, you must have somebody.
like Bob Marley, or I mean, even now, I'd say somebody like like Julian Marley, Johnny Osborne, and Johnny Clark, like Craig mentioned, Johnny Clark for sure, but even other instrumentalists like Jackie Matu or Augustus Pablo or King Tubby, even the
Okay.
scientists. Actually, we've worked with the scientists in the past who's still around keeping the King Tubby sound alive. Um, Artists and engineers from the 70s and from the 80s. That's definitely what we're most influenced by.
Okay. So, what keeps you creating more good music? Like, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? Like, if you guys transition on, like, what do you want to leave in the minds of people?
Well, like you just said, good music over everything. Good music that comes from our hearts, that we're just truly inspired by. You see a lot of, especially nowadays, you see a lot of pop music that appeals to the general public, but I think maybe our thing is like we're not a pop music group. We're a niche dub reggae music group, and we would like to somehow find a way to bring dub roots reggae from the 70s to the general public in our own way in this time and era.
All right. So, where do you guys go to do your creativity? You just walking down the street, you're having a beer, you're having something, you're just, laying out.
It could be a little bit of that, as you mentioned. The creative cycle is crazy because it could lay dormant for a day, a week, months, and then all of a
Years.
sudden you got all these ideas in your head. So there's times when I'm sleeping and I'll wake up and I'll be like, I have to remember this melody, or I have to remember this
You
song.
better tape it.
And you gotta like ask these guys. A lot of the times, I'll sing, even though I can't sing, and I can't sing at all. But I'll end up singing a voice note in my phone of a rhythm or of a bass line or of a melody, so that I don't forget it. Because for me, it comes in waves. So there could be a moment where I have these songs come to me, or these melodies come to me, and I feel
Okay.
like I have to put it down so that I don't forget. And I know for Ryan and Jonathan, it might be a little different, but for me, that's
Well, how was it? How was it, Jr.? So that's how you got. But you got. But a lot of artists, they say that they remember these things, and sometimes they say they just all gonna get up in the morning and it's gone.
yeah. So that's why I have to, even though my singing is terrible, it's good enough to at least put in a voice note so that I'm like, oh, that's what I meant. That's what I was trying to do.
Okay, so Jr., how does it come for you?
For me, because I love to listen to a lot of old jazz. So
Okay,
for me, I like to take influences from old jazz and use their chord progressions and try and find a way to mix that with roots reggae. And I'm also Ryan, our oldest brother. He's the one that kind of influenced us to and persuaded us to, or pushed us into reggae music when we were kids. That was probably one of our first influences for Craig and me is Ryan Ryan's influence of reggae music, and that's how we kind of learned about it. But I've always had a very big a jazz influence in my life, and I studied jazz piano for 20 years. I went to college
Wow.
to Humber College for I took jazz performance at Humber College. So I'm always trying to find ways to make blends of the two of or have a jazz influence on reggae. But I really like to take chord progressions, old chord progressions, and find new ways to write simple melodies over them.
And
Uh,
boss, you're frozen there.
did I freeze?
No, boss.
Everybody, I think everybody did for a minute, but it's okay. Yeah, so that's what you, okay. So what about, okay, Ryan, you there?
Yeah. For me, it's I don't know. Every nook and cranny, every time I'm in the car, every moment I have, I'm listening to reggae. I'm listening to music and listening to reggae. So I just find my creativity, my creative expression comes just from feel. Sometimes I can't explain what I want to play, but I can feel it and play it. And then the next day I might forget it because I'm out of the feeling. So for me, it's just constantly keeping the music going in the background, just feeling the different parts of the song, the major parts of the song, the minor parts of the song in terms of the melody, um, and then just try to add different flavors into the music that we're making.
All right. So,
D boss, can I tell you something very quickly about Ryan?
yes.
I've never met somebody who is so ingrained in the music that they listen to, and you can see the influence of how much he listens to this music because his children have the music memorized in their heads almost
What?
more than I do. Like every time I see my niece and nephew, they're singing songs that like they know these songs better than me, and these are songs from the 70s and 80s.
Wow.
So that tells you how much he listens to it on a regular basis, and he's passing the music along to his kids already, to the next generation.
Huh? I hope you guys know how to dance.
I'm not going to say anything about that.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, what you know about the music industry now that you know now that you wish you would have knew when you started? What's something that you're saying, "Oh my gosh, I wish I knew that back then."
Good question. Um,
Probably to have stayed better connected with the local community, I would say.
Okay. You know the musical rights and stuff, or some people.
from that perspective, I mean, like we write all of our own rhythms, so
Okay.
in that regard, and most of our stuff is instrumental.
Okay.
But in that regard, like we know who owns the rights to what we create our own music and we produce it.
So.
Things that I kind of wish I knew before. Um, it's just there's no right path or journey. Every day is a little different, and today something might be different from yesterday, and so there's no
Okay.
one roadmap to success. Everyone's got maybe a different definition of what success is, especially in the music business.
Okay.
And as we all know, it's a tough industry. It's a tough business.
Hmm. And
Um,
a lot of people do reggae music, so what differentiates you guys from everybody else?
Well, there's a few things. I would say that first of all, we're a three-piece band. We're just a trio of brothers.
Okay.
And in our live performance, you wouldn't think it just from maybe from seeing the three of us right now, but we have the sound of 10 people, and the way that we do that is with some live looping. We have multiple keyboard passages running at once with horns and background keyboard lines and background guitar lines and the chops, organ bubbles, piano skanks, plus jazz melodies, plus drum and bass. And on top of that, we do our own dubbing of the rhythms as well. So in the drum,
Woo! People,
yeah,
watch out! Watch out!
yeah, yeah. In the drum and bass sections, we've got the echoes, the reverbs, and the delays, just like King Tubby, and we try and recreate the '70s sound that was done in the studio, but live on stage.
Okay.
So that's something that really it can't be done live, but we're doing it live.
Wow. You see, a lot of people can't answer. You have anything to add, Ryman?
Uh,
Or he
no,
said it all. He said we struck a chord there. Which,
he
yeah,
said no. He said it all. He said it all. I
he
mean,
said,
the uniqueness of what we do is
yeah.
the three of us are always on the same page. For the most part. No, the three of us are always on the same page.
Okay.
And we all like what we're doing. We all love reggae. We all add our pieces to it. Um,
Hmm.
And
so
there's a
I
lot of
think
improv that goes on as well, D-Boss. Like there's, with dub, you got to kind of be open to what happens in the moment.
Okay.
It's not like we say, okay, we're gonna do this type of dub and this happens. It's literally something that happens in the moment. So with dub
Okay.
and effects, there's a lot of cutouts. There's a lot of drum and bass, and so Jonathan and Jonathan's the keyboard player. He's basically responsible for all the dubbing, but he might do a dub, and then that might, because I hear it in the moment, that might cue me to just stop. I'll cut out, and then I get to be almost like an audience, in the audience as well.
Ah. So do you
And
Yeah,
guys?
a part of our jazz influence
Right.
is when we play a song live or when we perform a song live, it's always different every time in the live performance. It's never the same. It's never one set particular way. It's just whether even when we're playing performing with the vocalist who has a set way of playing the song, it's not going to be like that with us. There's always going to be improvisation. There's always going to be surprises and elements of surprise and improvisation in the arrangement of every song because that's just the way that we ebb and flow.
Okay. So do you guys? Sometimes you guys have little arguments because sometimes the bands will be having a fit. Like, I'm not doing this.
Oh well, the nicest way to answer that is Craig likes to edit things a lot.
Oh. Okay.
yeah,
He's
so
smiling. He's smiling like.
well, the nicest way or the quickest and easiest way is just to say yes, D-Boss. We argue from time to time.
Hmm. Hmm. We know because I know like I've interviewed H Town and all these guys in the groups and they say yes, but then we have to get down to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. But
You got
like what Ryan mentioned earlier, we are generally on the same page as a group, as a band,
Generally,
and because we listen to the same music, so we generally are on the same page, and we can give
generally.
each other constructive criticism, and we all know that it comes from a place of, okay, like, because we want to sound the best that we can. And so the arguments, they're not really arguments. They're just little, like, hey, what about this? What if we tried this? And it's just words of encouragement. And, at the end of the day, we all know that it's for just the sake of being the best band and being the best group that we can be for each other and for the audience.
So for the greater purpose of the music.
all right. So tell us about this song here, Motown Rockers.
This one is this is more of an improvisational composition, I'd say, where it's something that we came up with on the spot. We're in the studio, we're running some rhythms. We're putting down a lot of drum and bass at the time, and this is something that we came up with on the spot. And we feel like the overall sound has a bit of a Motown vibe to it with the roots reggae. It's like a major chord feel good rhythm with like a Rhodes Motown melody.
All right. So we're gonna listen to this one, and of course you guys don't sing, so If you guys will sing with it. So okay, here we go. Motown Rockers. Wow, wow, wow. I want to play that when I get.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us about this one here. Sincerity.
So this is the first track on the album, and this one it blends a few classic reggae tunes.
Okay.
This was actually one of the compositions that I wrote in particular, and I'm playing like I'm the drummer, but I'm playing most of the instruments on this one. I'm playing the melodica,
Okay.
the bass, the keyboard,
Keyboards, the bass, everything.
the drums. But what to me is unique about this is this blends, a song from like Bob Marley's "She's Gone," "Thank You Lord."
Mm-hmm.
There's Big Youth's S90 Skank. There's Alton Ellis's Still Trying, Sugar My Knot, The Love We Had. So when you hear this song, you might hear 5 or 6 other songs that influenced this one. So
Okay.
to me, it was kind of like a blend of I took influences from certain parts of those songs and then made it into one new song, which was our own, which is Sincerity.
Okay, so here we go. Sincerity. Wow, I really like that one too.
Thank you.
It's a
Thank you.
it's a it seems like it's a blend. A
Yeah.
blend. as you said, a blend of everything.
Yeah, like when you hear the guitar lead, it almost reminds you of Bob Marley's "Thank You Lord." Did
Hmm.
you hear that, D-Boss?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
So that's what I
does.
was saying. There's certain parts of the song where it's like, oh, this sounds reminiscent of this song, and so that was kind of the idea, is taking our influences and making it into one song.
All right. So tell us about getting there.
I'll let this guy go ahead.
Oh,
Well,
let this guy-
I was telling you earlier that I'm very heavily jazz influenced. The song is well,
okay.
this song is probably pushes the boundaries of how much you can combine jazz and bebop with reggae. This is a very
Okay.
bebop influenced song, like a genre of jazz from the 1930s and 40s, which comes from Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, Thelonious Monk, and Bud Powell. So what I did was I took a Bud Powell composition, who's a famous jazz pianist, and I found a way to make it into a rhythm, like
Okay.
an 80s rockers drum and bass rhythm. So what you'll hear is there's elements of bebop. There's a lot of bebop in this song, especially in the melody of the melodica, but it's a heavy drum and bass rhythm as well.
All right. So here we go. Getting there, people.
Got to get there.
Like it's- wow. 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 I'm gonna
So
play this after. No, you don't even have to have the words. It's so good just by itself like that. But you know,
That's
you
what
can say
it's why
the
we're an instrumental band.
Chronicles. So what are you working on now?
We've got a we have a series in the works. What we're trying to do is put an EP together with vocalists, with local vocalists as well as international artists. So it's not always about the instrumental, unfortunately.
Okay. But it's good though. But you know, it's good to have some people in it too.
Of course. No, I'm just
yeah. So
joking. We
so
have
D-Boss, just very quickly. So this album name is called The Archives.
Oh,
So
I
we
just noticed
felt
that you're
like
inside.
I went. Yeah, I had to go. I had to charge. I had to charge my laptop because it was dying.
Oh, okay.
Um,
it's
but
dark now in
so what
Florida.
we did, yeah.
Did you know I'm the father?
There's the number one
There you
influence
go.
of it all right
There you
there.
go. So you're proud of
Hello.
your boys? Are you proud of them?
I am thrilled with these boys.
Wow. Look at this.
He
I love it.
actually was
I
in a
love it.
band.
I love it.
D-Boss. He was in a band too. He was a lead guitar and vocalist for like a
So why didn't you
funk
get him to
soul.
sing?
He can, and he did at his wedding, at
He sang
Jonathan's
at my
wedding
wedding.
this summer.
Oh,
He
he's
sang
oh, you're saying at your
UB40.
wedding.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did. Sang some
yeah,
UB40 and Romaine Virgo.
Oh,
Yes,
you see. Well, daddy's still involved.
of course.
Yes.
Absolutely. Nice
And he
meeting
edits
you.
he
Take
edits our
care.
songs for us
Okay. Well,
as
thank
well.
you. Thanks for telling us. Yes.
yeah.
No, we
So,
like
like
you.
I
We
was
like you.
saying, so this is a party. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. What you were saying. It's okay.
Go ahead, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. So what kind of just alluding to what Jonathan mentioned. So this album is called The Archives, and the reason for that is because our last album release was in 2021, and since then we've been working on our own instrumental rhythms that have kind of been in the archives for some time. And so while we were getting closer to putting this out, we said, "Look, should we not do some songs with some vocals? It would be, nice to mix it up. Like on our last album, we had Tash Lorraine on our lead single, "All Your Days of Breeze." We had Kumar Faya do three tracks as well. Kumar Faya from Jamaica. So we were thinking, should we do something similar? Because we know vocalists. It's nice having vocals on some of the songs, but we said, you know what? These are all songs that we've been wanting to put out on our own, and we felt that just as instrumentals. And with you, I mean, you heard all. There's a lot of melodies. There's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we said,
Mm-hmm.
why not just release this as our own 11-track album, just us three, our
Okay.
compositions. And so we did that. And the goal with that in mind was to set up what we are hopeful to do with our next release, which is to just have like a vocal version where we're just working with. Probably on our next work, may not be any instrumentals. It might just be all with vocals. So that's kind of the idea. Is for our this was to set up our next work, where we'll be collaborating with, as Jonathan mentioned, local artists, international artists. So that's what we're going to be focusing on as we go forward.
Well, you guys got to come back. I'm telling you, when you got your own, when you get that, don't be a one-off and not come back. I know we're missing Raymond, but
No,
that's okay.
yeah, I don't know what happened to
he just,
Raymond there.
he just,
Yeah,
he's
He
been
just
Raymond
out.
will be
fizzled
back.
out. He just simply
Raymond will be
fizzled
back.
That's
out
okay.
there.
Hey, we lost
He just,
Raymond, but we got our father, so I mean that's
yeah,
got
you
to
got.
make up for it.
Yeah, we got Roy. Yeah, we lost Raymond, but we got Roy.
All right. So, are there any shout outs that you guys want to give to your people?
Just peace and blessings and prosperity to all.
Just generally, I don't want to say maybe any names in particular, but people that have stuck with us from the very, very beginning. Obviously, our parents. You met my dad, my mom, and dad. Just people who've been with us from the beginning. People who have always encouraged us. Our family, friends, our core fans. That are always asking, when are you guys playing next? Where can I get this? People who have encouraged us to just keep doing what you're doing. People have told us that our sound is unique, and just keep what we're doing going. So I just want to thank them. And I don't know if Jonathan wants to mention anyone in particular, but me, it's just a general thank you to just people that have been following us, and that are excited to see us perform, and that we're excited about our release. Just generally, thank you to those people.
Yeah, I would
So,
I would agree with that.
you agree with it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ryman, we'll shout out to you that you're gone. Anybody that you want to shout out to, and if people want to book you guys or bring you guys, where can they find you on your social medias?
Yeah, so
The
we're
Dub
on all the
Chronicles
digital
on it. Sorry, go
platforms.
ahead.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So if our handle is the Dub Chronicles. Our
Okay.
email is the dubchronicles@gmail.com. So we can be reached on multiple platforms. But either way, whether it's by email, Instagram, Facebook,
Well, I
we
think
can
it's
be
great.
reached. And yeah, we can be reached.
Yeah, well, it's great, and people stream the music, pay for the stream. I can't make comments so they could see what you guys like and don't like. That's how they get into the categories. If you guys don't make any comments and just keep thinking the music for free, well, then they wonder why they didn't get in. Well, because you guys didn't put them in there. So you know what I mean? That it's outside. So I'm a big believer of that. Stream the music. Pay for the music. It's not that much. You guys got to download it and stream. Just support the artists out there because they're doing a lot of hard work to put these things together for people. So that's always that's always something in a note and in the back of it. But these are a good band here, people. I encourage everybody and go listen to the music and make comments. Just don't say, "Oh, you like it."
Appreciate that. Thank you, D-Boss. I agree.
That's no problem. And you guys are gonna come back. Everybody's gonna come back, and when you guys I want to hear some new stuff from you. You're not gonna be just a one-off. You came and you didn't come back again.
No, I promise you.
No, this was so much fun. We'll have to do it again. We'll try and get Rymen on it for the whole time.
Well, he was on for a bit. Things happen. This is real life matters. You just at least your dad popped in, so thank your dad also for
real
coming.
Life.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, this is real life. All right, so everybody, good night and bye for now. On that note,
Bye for now.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for having us, D-Boss. We appreciate it.
No problem.